All right. So you sent over this NetSuite guide about AI and machine learning.
Yeah.
And it seems like AI is kind of everywhere these days, but
It is.
I think I'd like to better understand what it actually means for businesses,
Sure.
especially in the world of finance.
Yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
because I think people often think of AI as this thing,
Yeah.
that's out of like a sci-fi movie or something.
Right.
But it's already having a real impact on how businesses operate,
Yeah.
even in ways we might not realize.
I get that. ChatGPT is making headlines, obviously, and
Yeah.
it feels like every industry is trying to figure out,
Yeah,
what to do with it.
right.
But you're suggesting that there's more to the AI story than
Absolutely.
just these flashy new tools.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Take something like optical character recognition.
It's okay.
Or OCR, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It might not sound as exciting as ChatGPT, right?
Right.
But it's really a perfect illustration of how AI is quietly revolutionizing even the most tedious tasks.
Okay, tell me more about that. What's so revolutionary about OCR?
Well,
Uh,
early OCR tech was only about 95% accurate,
hmm.
which meant, someone still had to go back and manually fix all those errors,
Oh.
which kind of defeats the purpose of automation.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see how that would be a pain.
Uh-huh.
So how has AI changed things?
Well, with machine learning,
Okay.
OCR accuracy has jumped to something like 99.8%.
Wow.
Now, that might not seem like a huge leap, but for businesses,
Right.
it's a game changer.
Okay.
Think about all the invoices and documents that finance teams handle.
Right.
Imagine how much time and effort they
Yeah.
could save if almost all of that data entry was automated.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It frees up people to focus on more important things, I guess.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how AI can make a real difference than
Uh.
in the day-to-day work of a finance team.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and this is just one example.
Yeah.
AI is also being used to analyze massive amounts of data
Right.
and extract insights
Yeah.
that would be impossible for humans to find on their own.
The guide touched on that.
Right.
It mentioned things like analyzing customer behavior and predicting trends.
Yeah.
Can you give me a more concrete example of how that works
Sure.
in finance?
Imagine you're trying to develop a new financial product.
Yeah.
AI can analyze mountains of data,
Okay.
things like market trends, economic indicators, even social media sentiment,
Mm.
to help you understand customer needs and predict demand.
So instead of relying on gut feeling or limited data, you're saying AI can help financial institutions make smarter decisions.
Exactly.
Oh.
AI can analyze vast amounts of information
Right.
and identify complex patterns
Mm.
that humans might miss,
Uh-huh.
which can be incredibly valuable for things like risk assessment
Yeah.
and investment strategies.
Okay, that's starting to paint a clearer picture for me.
Yeah.
But before we go any further,
Okay.
can we take a step back and define a couple of terms? The guide
Yeah.
uses AI and machine learning almost interchangeably,
Yeah.
but I know there's a difference.
You're right. There is a distinction.
Okay.
AI, or artificial intelligence,
Right.
aims to create systems
Uh-huh.
that can perform tasks that typically require
Right.
human intelligence, like problem solving or decision making.
Uh-huh.
Machine learning
Okay.
is a subset of AI
Okay.
that focuses on training systems to learn from data
Right.
and improve their performance on specific tasks.
Can you give me an example to illustrate that?
Sure. Think about a spam filter.
Okay.
It learns to identify spam messages by analyzing,
Mhm.
thousands of examples.
Hmm.
The more data it processes, the better it gets at recognizing patterns
Right.
and filtering out unwanted emails.
Okay.
That's machine learning in action.
So the spam filter isn't explicitly programmed with rules about what constitutes spam.
Right.
It learns those rules by analyzing data.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that ability to learn and adapt is a key characteristic of machine learning.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that not everything marketed as AI
Right.
actually uses machine learning.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just clever programming that follows predefined rules.
So there's a lot of hype around AI,
Yeah.
and it's not always clear
Right.
what's real and what's not.
Exactly. We need to be discerning consumers of these technologies and understand the underlying mechanisms.
That makes sense. The guide also stresses the importance of process automation as a foundation for AI.
Yeah.
Can you explain why that's so crucial?
AI systems rely on data, to learn and make decisions.
Okay.
So if your data is messy or disorganized or trapped in manual processes, AI won't be very effective. So businesses need to kind of digitize their data and streamline their processes before they can really reap the benefits of AI.
So it's like building a house. You need a solid foundation before you can start adding fancy features.
That's a great analogy.
That's true.
Automating those routine tasks is a win-win.
Okay.
It boosts efficiency and prepares businesses for a data-driven future.
Yeah.
Where AI can play a more prominent role.
All right, now let's delve into the really cutting edge stuff here.
Sure.
The guide mentions deep learning and ChatGPT. What exactly are those?
Well,
and how are they different from the other types of AI we've been discussing?
Deep learning is a subfield of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks to analyze data.
Okay.
These networks are inspired by the structure of the human brain.
Right.
And are designed to learn complex patterns and relationships. ChatGPT is a prime example of deep learning in action. It's a language model that has been trained on a massive amount of text data, which allows it to generate human-like text, answer questions, write different kinds of creative content, and even translate languages.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. I mean, is ChatGPT really as impressive as everyone says it is?
It's certainly a powerful tool.
Okay.
ChatGPT's ability to process and generate language is remarkable. The guide mentioned the sheer scale of its training data set. It's something like 800,000 King James Bibles worth of text.
Wow.
I mean, it's mind-boggling to think about the computing power needed to train a model like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing ChatGPT isn't a magic solution.
No, it's not a magic bullet.
For all of our problems.
While ChatGPT can provide insightful answers and generate impressive content, it's not a substitute for human expertise.
Okay.
It's important to understand that applying AI to specific business tasks, especially in finance, still requires specialized software. And integration with existing systems.
So you're saying I can't just ask ChatGPT to take over my
not quite yet
entire finance department?
While it can offer some general guidance, it can't, audit your books or provide specific recommendations tailored to your business's unique circumstances.
Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like ChatGPT is a powerful tool with a lot of potential, but it's important to have realistic expectations and understand its limitations.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance between human expertise and AI capabilities.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about how AI is already being used to automate tasks, analyze data, and even generate human quality text.
Right.
But I'm curious, where do we go from here? What are some of the key things that businesses, especially those in the financial sector, need to consider as AI continues to evolve?
That's a great question, and it leads us to some really important considerations about how AI is developed and implemented. One of the key things to think about is how we ensure responsible and ethical development of AI. As these technologies become more sophisticated and integrated into our lives, it's crucial that we consider the potential impact on individuals and society as a whole.
That makes sense. I mean, we've seen some of the potential pitfalls with social media algorithms and facial recognition technology.
Exactly.
The things you're talking about.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of the potential for bias in AI systems, especially when those systems are being used to make decisions that affect people's lives. For example, if an AI-powered loan approval system is trained on data that reflects historical biases in lending practices. It could perpetuate those inequalities, even if that's not the intention.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but also about the data it's trained on and the decisions it's used to make.
Precisely. We need to think carefully about the data we use to train AI systems. And we need to develop safeguards to ensure that those systems are used fairly and equitably.
The guide also touched on the importance of transparency in AI systems. Can you explain what that means and why it's important?
Transparency in AI means being able to understand how an AI system arrived at a particular decision. This is especially important when those decisions have significant consequences, like in, healthcare finance or criminal justice. If we can't understand how an AI system works,
right,
it's difficult to trust its decisions,
right,
or hold it accountable for its actions.
So it's not enough to just know that an AI system works. We need to understand.
We need to understand why and how it works.
And how it works.
Exactly. We need to be able to trace the decision-making process of an AI system. Understand the factors that went into its decision, and identify any potential biases or errors.
Okay.
This is crucial for building trust in AI and ensuring that it's used responsibly.
It sounds like there are a lot of complexities to consider when it comes to AI. I mean, it's not just about building cool new tools. Right. It's about thinking through the potential impact on society and developing guidelines for ethical development and use.
You've hit the nail on the head. AI is a powerful tool with the potential to revolutionize many aspects of our lives.
Right.
But it also comes with significant responsibilities. Yeah. We need to approach AI development with a thoughtful and ethical mindset, ensuring that it benefits humanity as a whole.
That's a really important message. I think it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new technology.
Yeah.
But we need to remember that AI is ultimately a tool.
It is.
That can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically.
I couldn't agree more. It's a conversation that needs to happen across all sectors of society. Businesses, governments, academia, and the public. Yeah. To ensure that we're all on the same page. Right. When it comes to AI development and deployment.
So given all these complexities, what are some practical steps that businesses can take to ensure that they're using AI responsibly?
That's a great question. First and foremost, businesses need to educate themselves about the potential risks and benefits of AI. They need to understand how AI works, how it can be used, and what the potential pitfalls are.
Okay.
It's also important to develop clear guidelines for ethical AI development and use within their organizations.
Right.
These guidelines should address things like data privacy, bias mitigation, transparency, and accountability.
It sounds like it's not just about having the right technology, but also about having the right policies and procedures in place.
Exactly.
To ensure that AI is used ethically and responsibly.
It's about building a culture of responsible AI within organizations.
Okay.
Where ethical considerations are baked into every stage of the AI development and deployment process.
The guide also mentions the importance of diverse perspectives in AI development. Can you talk a little bit about why that's so crucial?
When you have a team of people from different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives working on an AI project, you're more likely to identify potential biases and ensure that the system is designed and implemented in a way that is fair and equitable for everyone.
Right.
Diversity of thought leads to more robust and responsible AI systems.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having a checks and balances system in place to make sure that AI doesn't reflect the biases of a single individual or group.
Precisely. It's about creating a more inclusive and equitable approach to AI development. Yeah. Where everyone has a seat at the table and their voices are heard.
So where does this leave businesses that are just starting to explore the potential of AI? What are some key takeaways they should keep in mind?
I think the most important takeaway is that AI is not a silver bullet. Right. It's a powerful tool that can bring significant benefits. Yeah. But it also comes with risks and responsibilities.
Right.
Businesses need to approach AI with a clear understanding of both its potential and its limitations. They need to invest in education, develop clear ethical guidelines, and foster a culture of responsible AI within their organizations.
Okay.
And they need to engage in open and honest conversations about the societal impact of AI.
Yeah.
And work together to ensure that these technologies are used for good.
That's really helpful advice.
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about, but it's clear that AI is here to stay, and it's going to have a profound impact.
It is.
On how we work and live. It's up to all of us to make sure that impact is positive.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be working in this field, and I'm optimistic that we can harness the power of AI for the betterment of humanity.
Speaking of exciting developments, let's circle back to ChatGPT.
Okay.
We talked about its capabilities earlier, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on its potential impact, especially on finance teams.
Well, I think ChatGPT and other large language models have the potential to revolutionize the way finance teams operate. For example, imagine a world where you can use natural language to query your financial data, generate reports, and even get insights and recommendations.
That sounds amazing. It would be like having a super intelligent financial assistant.
Exactly.
At your fingertips.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're just beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible with these technologies.
But with all this talk of AI's potential, I'm also wondering about the potential downsides. Are there any risks or concerns that businesses should be aware of when it comes to ChatGPT and other large language models?
Of course, there are always risks and concerns with any new technology.
Sure.
One of the things we need to be mindful of is the potential for these models to be misused.
Right.
For example, they could be used to generate fake news or propaganda or to create deep fakes that could be used to deceive or manipulate people.
Those are serious concerns, it sounds like. We need to be very careful about how we develop and deploy these technologies.
Absolutely. We need to think carefully about the potential risks.
Right.
And put safeguards in place to mitigate them.
Right.
But I believe that the potential benefits of AI far outweigh the risks, as long as we approach these technologies with a sense of responsibility and ethics.
So it's about finding that balance between innovation and responsibility.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the power of AI while ensuring that it's used for good.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've talked about the potential benefits and risks of AI.
Right.
The importance of ethical development and use and the potential impact of large language models like ChatGPT. But I'm curious, what are your final thoughts on AI and the future of finance?
I believe that AI has the potential to transform the financial industry in profound ways. It can help us make better decisions, manage risk more effectively, and create new products and services that better meet the needs of our customers.
Okay.
But it's important to remember that AI is just a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use it.
Right.
And what kind of future we want to create.
That's a powerful message. It's not just about the technology itself.
It's not.
But about the choices we make as individuals and as a society.
Exactly. We need to be mindful of the potential impact of AI on our lives.
Yeah.
And work together to ensure that it's used for good.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important takeaway is that AI is a journey, not a destination. We're constantly learning and evolving.
Right.
And the future of AI is still being written.
Yeah.
It's up to all of us to shape that future and ensure that AI is used to create a better world for everyone.
That's a great note to end on. AI is a journey, and we're all in this together. Thanks for sharing your insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure. I always enjoy these conversations.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We hope you found this deep dive informative and thought-provoking. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those tough questions. It feels like we've only just, scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
There's so much to consider when it comes to AI, especially in the financial world.
You're right. We have covered a lot of ground from the practical applications of AI in finance to the broader ethical considerations. It's a complex and rapidly evolving landscape.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest challenges for businesses is simply keeping up with the pace of change.
Right.
What advice would you give to finance leaders who are, feeling overwhelmed by all the AI hype?
I'd say the most important thing is to focus on your specific business needs and challenges.
Okay.
Don't get caught up in trying to implement every new AI tool that comes along.
Right.
Instead, take a step back and ask yourself, what are the biggest pain points in my finance department?
Right.
Where could AI potentially help us be more efficient, make better decisions, or serve our customers more effectively?
So start with the problems, not the solution.
Exactly. Once you have a clear understanding of your needs, you can start to explore the AI solutions that are available.
Right.
And determine which ones are the best fit for your organization.
Okay.
It's about being strategic and intentional with your AI investments.
That's a really helpful approach. I think it's easy to get caught up in the hype and feel like you need to be doing everything, but sometimes the simplest approach is the best.
Absolutely. And remember, AI is not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
What works for one company might not work for another.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right tools and strategies for your specific needs.
The guide also mentions the importance of having the right talent in place to implement and manage AI solutions.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the skills and expertise that finance teams will need in an AI-driven world?
It's a great point. Yeah. As AI becomes more prevalent in finance, we're going to see a growing demand for professionals who understand both finance and technology.
Right.
They'll need to be able to analyze data, build and manage AI models, and interpret the results in a business context.
So it's not enough to just be a financial expert or a tech expert. You need to be a bit of both.
Precisely. We need people who can bridge the gap between finance and technology and translate technical concepts into actionable business insights.
Right.
These individuals will be in high demand as companies continue to invest in AI.
And how can finance professionals start developing those skills?
There are a lot of great resources available, including online courses, boot camps, and degree programs.
I'll also recommend getting involved in industry groups and attending conferences to stay up to date on the latest trends and best practices in AI for finance.
So it's about continuous learning and development, just like any other field.
Exactly.
Yep.
The field of AI is constantly evolving. So it's important to stay curious and keep learning.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
fair.
I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The human element of AI. Yeah. With all this talk about automation and algorithms, it's easy to forget that AI is ultimately a tool created by humans to solve human problems.
That's a really important point. Yeah. It's crucial that we remember that AI is not a replacement for human judgment and decision making.
Okay.
It's a tool that can augment our capabilities and help us make the decisions.
Yeah.
But it's not a silver bullet.
So it's about finding the right balance between human expertise and AI capabilities.
We need to think carefully about how we integrate AI into our workflows and ensure that it's used in a way that complements and enhances our human skills.
Right.
Not replaces them.
Okay.
It's about collaboration, not competition.
That's a great message to leave our listeners with. AI is a powerful tool.
It is.
But it's ultimately up to us to decide how we use it. We need to be mindful of the potential risks, but also embrace the incredible opportunities that AI offers. It's a journey.
It is.
We're all on together.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fascinating to see where it takes us.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI is bright, and I'm excited to see what we can accomplish together.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise. This has been a truly enlightening deep dive into the world of AI and finance.
It's been my pleasure. I always enjoy these conversations.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We hope you found this deep dive informative and thought-provoking. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those tough questions.